Hi everybody, thanks for watching. What I'd like to do today is just to go through my pack and just for you to have a look at the things that I would generally be carrying with me were I to go bushcrafting, have a solo night out, a couple of nights, whatever it may be, on a bit of a trek. These are the things that I think would be essential. Now what I don't have here, because I'm not spending the night here tonight, is a sleeping bag and that kind of thing. But what I do have is a little bivvy tent, just to demonstrate the size of the tent itself, what it looks like in its bag. It's very small, very light, ultralight, has a very low profile, which is what you need sometimes, you know, just when you are, particularly where I live, just wanting to go into the bush and really just blend in. That tent is perfect for those kind of expeditions. So let's go for it then. Let's have a look at what we've got here. So this is my pack, and it's an old vintage pack. It's not a new bag. I prefer that. I like bags with a bit of character, and it's really well made. This was picked up in France, but it has a history on its own before I even bought it. I think it's also important to take a bag that you know that is pretty hardy, can deal with the work that you do, being able to trek. The pack needs to be durable, it needs to be comfortable for you carrying it. The capacity needs to be big enough to hold all your gear. So this is obviously not going to be big enough for a major trek. You know, three days to a week. I need something bigger, which I have. But this is a pack that I can take for at least for a couple of days. So let's go through it. So first and foremost, what I always have is my bushcrafting knife. So that is it here, and it's full tang. I'll be able to see that there. And it's good enough for the essential bushcrafting tasks that I need doing. If you're working with wood, this is great, perfect for that. Even preparing food, this is going to do the job. Now I will need a hunting knife if I wanted to skin an animal, or even fillet a fish. This will do that, but there are other knives specific for those kind of tasks. And of course I've got my bag. Now I could have food in here, but I generally carry my camera equipment in here. And this is my latest purchase. I'll talk about that in a moment. We'll come back to that. We'll get there. This is probably a saw I've been waiting for a long time, the Silky Gomboy 270. An excellent folding saw. I just got it recently, so I'm going to be making a sheath for it, a leather sheath to house it, and really excited to be using that. Been waiting a long time for that. So in addition to the knife that I've got, the main knife, I also carry a little cutting tool here. This is by Rolson, but it's just a little fold away sort of cutting tool here, just for cutting leather. I like to work with leather, so this will do the job. Nothing major. These are my eating utensils that I made, a couple of spoons. My recent projects that I'll be using at dinner time. And then of course I carry another vintage item. This is my kettle, and it's pretty light aluminium or aluminum if you're from the States, and it's very easy. Screws here, screws off, and you can also put your tea bag in here if you want to make tea, brew tea in there, or pineapple tea, whatever it may be. That can go straight in there, and straight on the fire or the stove that you have. Then I've also got my tinder pouch, and in here I will keep tinder, some birch bark, anything else like that, some feather sticks that I've pre-prepared, and I'll have my striker. So I've got my magnesium stick, and that comes with a striker, just on the ridge there. And then of course your magnesium shavings come from here, and that burns incredibly well, particularly good in wet weather, and that will just take a spark and do pretty well. Now it's always great, depending on what you do, but I always have a bit of twine with me. It's always great for just anything that you're doing around camp. It's just great to have some lashing ready to go. You could use something more natural, but I generally carry this with me anyway, and this can be bought it's very inexpensive from any store, any major supermarket or hardware store. Always very useful. Something very important to carry with you are a pair of gloves. Generally bushcrafting involves a lot of work with your hands, whether you're using an axe or a knife. It's always good to carry these. Safety first. Then I've got another little leather pouch, and I have my Leatherman's Skeletool, which is another knife that I carry, and that will have just a decent blade to do every sort of day tasks. It has your pliers that you might need depending on what you need to do, and then of course you've got a screwdriver at the end. That can come off quite easily, and you can replace that. You've got two bits on the other end there, and you've also got another bit right there. Always good to have coffee, and I carry coffee here pre-mixed with a bit of sugar, which I like, and that's ready to go once I've heated some water. So coffee. It's also a very good idea to carry a waterproof bag, and this I might have my wallet or my keys or even my phone, depending on the weather, but always important to have something like this. Another thing that I generally I take this because I always use it, and whether you're using it because there's a call of nature and you need to make sure that you leave no trace behind, or you're doing some heavier work around camp, this is always great to have. This is an army issue, and it just screws on. And the great thing about this is that it's not incredibly heavy, but it's pretty versatile. You've got a bit of a sharper edge here. I use this. You can even use that. I have used it to chop wood. It's not going to chop a massive trunk, but it will clear away some debris. It is quite sharp. I wouldn't mess around with that. And then of course be used as a spade if you need it. Holds away pretty well. Just literally unscrew. Right back in its bag, ready for the next use. And then this is that the tent that I mentioned, the little bivvy tent. This is weather checked. It has a very low profile and just enough for you to get in there, get out of the elements, stay dry. Very easy to set up, and when I say low profile, I'm talking about pretty low to the ground. So you're not going. There's no standing room here. Easy to set up, easy to use. And of course, another essential element of bushcrafting is your axe, but I have made my own sheath, and all the leather work is mine. But there you have it, made by another popular brand, but really well made. This is Swedish made, hand forged in Sweden, and it's this little hatchet here is great for, it's quite versatile, great for your everyday tasks. It's obviously, you could, I guess, attempt at bringing down a massive tree, but you're going to be working really hard. There are other axes that are more suitable for that, but in terms of a versatile, everyday axe that is functional, ready to go. This is it. Not too heavy, and very versatile. And of course, depending on how heavy you want your pack to be, I also sometimes carry, and in this case I have carried it, but generally this is at home, but is your sharpening stone, and this you'll sharpen either with water or oil, but really good to have a sharp axe, a sharp knife. If your knife or axe are dull, you're going to be working a lot harder, expending a lot more energy, and then prone to injury. So rather have something ready to go, nice and sharp, and not a lot of time to sharpen it. So I'll just leave that out there. Sometimes it's also good to have, if you do want to just get a fire going without too much effort, you can just put some matches in a container like this, and it's ready to go, watertight. And then another thing I do carry all the time, because you never know when you might need it, is just a little container here. It's not very heavy, but what it has is a bit of fishing line with some hooks, a couple of sinkers. You never know. And then again, depending on where you are, just a little gas stove here to cook your coffee, which I will do very shortly anyway. Very easy, very light. Now I carry this ex-army issue canteen. That is pretty easy to come out and locks in place. Here we go, ready to go, ready to drink, ready to heat up on fire. So one of the other things that I wanted to show you was my latest purchase here, and it's something that if you cannot have an open fire, or if the environment you're in is not great, maybe there's just a lot of peat, whatever it may be, and you're restricted, well, there's always something like this. And this I got recently. Comes in a really nice bag, breathable bag, and there you have it. See where the logo is. Homegrown Adventure. And this is a little wood burning stove. A couple of parts, easy assemble parts here. This is obviously the base, that way. There you go. That will go down there. I'm not sure if you can see that. And then of course you've got that, which flicks out. And of course you're going to put your pot or kettle or whatever it may be on there. And then I guess this goes underneath to collect the ash. So really looking forward to using that. So there you have it again. I'm not sure if you can see that, but these are the things that I find very useful. Now again, it doesn't make for the lightest of packs, but pretty necessary as far as I'm concerned, depending on what you're doing. Thanks for watching. Like I said, these are the things I use all the time. You may carry a few other bits and bobs, or you may not want to take some of these things, but these are the things I use on a regular basis.